NFL playoff predictions. Starting with the Steelers and Texans. This is an interesting game. I could see it going both ways. Texans defense is obviously insanely good. Steelers, their definition of mid. They won barely to clinch the North. Personally, I want the Steelers to win because I'm a Bills fan. I don't want them to lose. Texans are big, scary. But Texans will probably win, but it also could go either way. But I'm going to give it the Texans to win. Bills and Jags. As a Bills fan, I do not have that much faith to win this game. Jags are scary. Jags have good run game. Bills have bad run defense. Bills have multiple injuries. Bills, the last time they faced the Jags in the playoffs, lost. Was that with Allen? No. But we still lost. But this is completely unbiased, so I'm giving the Bills to win. Although this will be a heart attack. And mainly because I think the Bills can win shootouts. They've proven that. But this will be insanely close. There's a very good chance the Bills lose, but I'm going to have faith in my team. Patriots, Chargers. Amarian Hampton is questionable the last time I checked, so we're just going to check that off. So NFC wild card, we have Panthers and Rams. On paper, the Rams should win. I forget how much wins they got, but I think it's 12 against the Panthers, who have a losing record. But the Panthers also beat the Rams earlier in the season. Could it happen again? Yes. Do I think it will happen? No. So I'm going to give it to the Rams. Eagles 49ers. This is probably one of the more interesting matchups alongside Bills, Jags, and Steelers, Texans, where it's the winner. I'd say more it's like the Bills and Jags rather than Steelers, Texans. There isn't really an obvious team that would probably win, but I feel like it'd be the Niners. I just feel like they've had better structure. Even with the injuries, I'm blanking out. The Eagles aren't as good as they were in the years past. So I think the 49ers would win that. I think we would get a Week 18 rematch. And Bears, Packers. I think the Bears have a good chance. Their defense is bad, but they beat the Packers in the most recent week. The Packers are just a weird team without Parsons. I mean, I predicted them to go 5-12, which I'll cover in a future video, but now without Parsons and over the last few weeks, I just don't think they're that great of a team, so I don't think the Bears have it. On to the AFC divisional. Bills, Broncos. This could... I don't know. The Broncos are kind of similar to the Patriots, where they have a lot of wins. They've proven they're a good team, especially their defense compared to the Patriots. Top 3 defense in the NFL. But I'm just not scared to play them. I don't fear Bo Nix. Their run game isn't terrible, but it's not great, which is the Bills' main problem. And the Broncos have shown that even their defense is not immortal, so it's definitely close. Closer than I'm probably going to think it is, but I think the Bills would win in this matchup. Patriots, Texans. Actually, that's a good matchup. Patriots, Texans. Again, Texans defense is just so insanely good. The Patriots are definitely frauds, in my opinion. In this case, it's a matter of. Well, I'm going to try and set that aside, but I'd definitely much rather face the Patriots than the Texans, especially in Houston. I think it's a matter of how much would the Texans' offense do. Even this is also the same thing with the Steelers. That's where I think the difference in this game is, and I think the Patriots have the advantage on offense. So it'll be a very low-scoring game, which will set up a Bills-Patriots rematch. But let's get to the NFC first. Starting with the Seahawks 49ers. Probably the Seahawks would win. Again, 49ers are such a weird team because of all their injuries. But even just basing it off of their Week 18 matchup, the 49ers were just completely outmatched by the Seahawks. And I think Seahawks with the extra bit of rest could be a bad thing. Not all first-round buys are created equal. But I feel like the Seahawks would still win. Possibly in a blowout, too. Bears, Rams. I think the Rams offense is just way too good. Especially for this Bears defense. But at the same time, the Bears offense is so good. But I feel like the Rams, it's kind of be similar to that 49ers game. I think the Rams just have a little bit more of an edge on talent. And they have more experience with their roster, so I'll give it to them. Oh, I didn't even realize we got two interdivisional championships. But starting with the Bills Patriots, this could be a good matchup. It would be similar to the last two. But it could be a low-scoring one. It could be a very high-scoring one. Injuries, I think, are going to play a role. Whatever team gets more injured, I think it'll be more noticeable in the matchups. The run game should be good. This should be a good game. If the Bills make it here. If the Bills make it here and the Patriots make it here, I think the Bills win. Obviously, I'm not really too confident in the Jags. I'm confident in the Broncos. I'd be confident against the Patriots. But really, it's these two teams that I am afraid of as a Bills fan. If those two teams either we beat or they're not in the way by the championship game, well, obviously we have to beat Jacksonville, but if we beat Jacksonville and don't have to run into Houston, I think the Bills could easily make the Super Bowl. Moving on to Seahawks-Rams. This is obviously going to be a really good matchup. Their last matchup, one of the better games of the season, possibly the best. But I really don't know, honestly. This is a really huge coin toss. Since I put the Bills in the Super Bowl, I'm going to pick the Rams. I do think they have a really good chance of winning this game, even though they've been inconsistent these last few weeks. You never know what Sam Darnold is going to do in these big games. Obviously, he had his great game against the Rams, but he was also a little inconsistent in that one towards the start. So if the Rams can capitalize on that, I think they could win. And finally, Super Bowl 60, Bills, Rams. Obviously, I will give it to my Bills, since I'm completely unbiased. This will be one of the better Super Bowls in NFL history, if this does happen. Two insane offenses. Their last matchup last year, 46-44. Absolutely insane. Same thing would happen. Even with the Bills being a little worse and the Rams being better. I still think we're going to get a good game. Honestly, wouldn't be mad if the Bills lost in this scenario. It's just such a good... Those are such good teams, especially if the Bills make it. So I'm going to give the Bills the win. And also how many points will be scored. I don't know. 301. I don't... That's either too low or too high. Well, those are my predictions for the Super Bowl 60 playoffs. If you think I'm completely stupid, let me know. If you think I'm right, let me know. And like and subscribe. I'll be streaming soon, so make sure to go follow my Twitch and join the Discord. Bye.